Good morning and welcome to day 11 of becoming a travel photographer in 30 days. If you don't know, I'm Carly Oakenshield. I'm a portrait photographer based out of Oklahoma, and I am in a challenge in which I attempt to become the world's best travel photographer in 30 days with one camera, one lens, and all without leaving my state. So today we're going to go over the shots that I got last night. So our first shot is of my dog, Lucy. We're taking her out on a little walk. We're in downtown Oklahoma City. And as you can see, she's literally scared of everything. And also like the cutest dog ever. Christmas lights. I don't really know what to say about this except for I love the lights, I love the colors, and it's almost Christmas. This tree was kind of giving me like Tree of Life vibes. And I was just really digging the way that the light and the color hit the sidewalk. Again, just up into the trees, looking at how the leaves have been lit and colored. Me looking up at the tree. I am getting way too comfortable shooting up my nostrils in this challenge. It just works with the way that like I'm on a 50 millimeter. If I hold my camera out here to take a selfie, that's just the shot, that's just the angle, and you can see the lights, and I actually really dig this photo. This is Devon Tower. I think it's the tallest tower in Oklahoma City downtown right now. There's actually a cool little restaurant at the top. And I'm just underneath a bridge, and it's kind of framed in one of those little arches. Just kind of utilizing some leading line type stuff there. I really like this. There's two photos. If you look at the end of the tunnel, there's a blue light and then an orange light. And I'm curious which everyone prefers. I feel like the orange gives kind of a cooler contrast. But the blue kind of looks like it's arrived because the end of the tunnel is blue. So it kind of looks like that's where it was always supposed to end up, is like that light is guiding you out of the tunnel. I also love this because I hadn't really considered that I could have some rainbow coloring, because when I was looking through Annie Griffiths photos on research day, she has like this really beautiful temple thing that she has a photo of, and it's lit with like really beautiful rainbow lights. And I didn't think that I would get any shots like that. And then I'm downtown and there's absolutely lighting like that. So very cool, very exciting. Next, I did play with my shutter speed a little bit to see what kind of blur I could get on these vehicles. I didn't like any of those shots though. So here's just a regular old car shot. I like, the building in the background is really cool and very well lit. And I really like the shadows that are underneath this car coming from the headlights of the car behind it. I dig that. And then here's just that building, which is kind of setting the scene of like where we're walking around. This is my sweetheart who always ends up in the photos, and he is so willing to be my subject. I very much appreciate it. This is cool, more leading lines, and they've got to find ways to like light up the walkways beneath the bridges, and they clearly have like done some cool architectural stuff to like keep it interesting. I really like this shot. More Christmas lights with the colors. I really want to play with gels a little more, which is like more of a studio setting. But I got to, kind of play with gels while I'm out. Here's like I actually really like this picture. It's like a dark shadowed image of my face in the lights, and you can't really tell. I feel like you can't really tell who that is, but it's just like really cool and dark and interesting. Plants. I'm figuring out that I just really like some up-close plant shots. I think I might really be into some like nature macro photography. Here's kind of another like setting the scene. That's Devon Tower, the Bank First Tower. I actually don't know what tower that is behind there. All lit up and lovely. It's a pet waste sign. You know, we've got a dog, so where we go, there's little signs, little baggies, because people are tired of stepping in your dog poop. So clean up after your dog. Okay, this is cool. This is actually a really typical and iconic spot for people to take photos downtown Oklahoma City, because this train track is like out of commission. It's not used anymore. And there's all of this ivy growing all over it. And there's like some really cool concrete. There's some really cool wood, lots of really cool vines and some old trees. There's even like a really cool old lamppost. I got a couple of shots of that, but like it just kind of didn't make the cut for my favorites. So this is like a really iconic spot, but I haven't really hung out down there before. But on this concrete wall, you can see that there used to be chain link around it, and it's like worn into like where it used to be painted. And then I actually had a little fun on this one. One side is being lit by like the street light, and the other side I've got my little, oh, it's actually the green light that's back there. It's like a little handheld light about this big. So these are my little handheld constant lights. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. These are what I used for the most part before I got these big video lights. But I really like having these because for one, I don't like taking flashes out because I'm like hyper conscious of light stimulation, because my sweetheart is like hypersensitive to lights, and like my niece has seizures. And so like, I'm just really, I feel really weird going into public with a flash. Even though you can get some really cool stuff with flashes, I just don't like it, and it feels rude. And I know that I've done it plenty of times before. I'm just always uncomfortable. So I really love having this. It's got like this attaches to like a light stand, but it also is like a really great handle. So I just kind of carried this around with us. In this specific photo, I'm lighting the side with the ivy. This is like RGB, can change the color, temperature, Kelvin, adjust the brightness. Like at first my light was way too bright. You couldn't tell that the street light was there. So I had to really dim the light down so that you could see both sides in this photo. But I really, really enjoyed having this. I used it quite a bit more in the other shots too. I should stick those in my gear recommendations, because I just really like having those. And they're only like $60 or $70. And I've got 2 of them, and I don't know, they've just come in handy a lot. So next one, oh, this one's cool. This is just rocks. This is, my light is just set on the ground, lighting across this gravel. And this is underneath that bridge that you just saw. And I don't know, thought it looked cool. This is where it gets cool. These are vines growing up the wooden part of this bridge that I was describing. And this is where I got this light out, and it was really playing with angles and colors. And you can kind of see the shadows change between, I mean, yes, this one is, lit regularly. This one is lit with purple, right? But there's also, like, you can see where the shadows have changed because I've adjusted where the light is. So on this purple one, I'm like down underneath, kind of shining up. And then on this one, I'm shining. So I was down here shining up, and then on this one, I'm up here shining down. And it just created like some really cool shadows. So I think that was all the photos that I had picked out. This challenge is so fun. It is really hard to go from having several hundreds of photos to like trying to whittle it down to like 10 or 20, because that's like Instagrammable. But I'm doing all right whittling them down, I think. There is day 11, and I will catch you tomorrow.